It was so wonderful to have your all association in our Samsara Dhamanala. Once again, thank you so much. So, Mataji, let me project today's our reading. So, Mataji, I hope everybody are able to see. The paragraph starts with, we are writing like this. Resolved that we, the undersigned members. Okay, let me share, Mataji. Sorry. So, Mataji, everybody are ready. I hope so. So, we will start with our invocation prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamsya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadhanvitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishnan Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindevaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Krupa Sindho Prayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarvrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today we are going to start our Lilamrta reading. It's chapter 60. The name is Seattle. And the paragraph starts with, we are writing like this. So before starting this, I would thank to every Mataji who presented on the call, and because of our sincere reading of Lilamrta, we got before a week ahead, I think so. Srila Prabhupada is pleased with everybody on the call. Thank you so much, Matajis, for this giving us opportunity to read. So Matajis, anybody would like to start reading today's reading?
I can start, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So I should start from, we are writing like this, right?
Yes, Mataji.
We are writing like that we, the undersigned members and the devotees of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness Incorporated, in a meeting under the presidency of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, today, the 21st of October, 1968, at our Seattle branch, express our profound bereavement on hearing the passing away of His Divine Grace, Om Vishnupad Sri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshava Goswami Maharaj, the Sannyasa Guru, preceptor of our spiritual master. And on October 6, 1968, at his headquarter residence in Navadvip, West Bengal, we offer our respectful obeisances at the lotus feet of Sri Srimad B.P. Keshava Goswami Maharaj with the following verse composed on this occasion by our spiritual master. This verse I have already explained to you, so I wish that you all sign this, and I'll send it tomorrow by airmail. You have got pencil? Prabhupada first signed his own name and then gave the letter to Kartikeya to take to each devotee in the room. One by one, they placed the paper on the floor and signed it. The devotee carrying the paper was about to pass by several guests, but Prabhupada said, No, everyone here is present, and so they are all a witness. The last one to sign was Prabhupada's servant Kartikeya. Kartikeya put the paper on the floor and slowly signed his name, while Srila Prabhupada leaned forward on the Vyasasan, watching very intently. Before Prabhupada left Seattle, most of the devotees returned to their temples in San Francisco and Los Angeles. Only half a dozen people remained with him for the few days before his departure. Prabhupada had to go to Montreal for an interview in the US consulate there. Accepted as an immigrant in Canada, he was now trying to get permanent residency for the US because of the expense. He would fly to Montreal unaccompanied. He planned to stay there for a few days and then fly to visit the new ISKCON Center in Santa Fe, Mexico, and then go back to Los Angeles. Please continue, Mataji. Hare Krishna. There are a lot of participants. Please continue.
Thank you, Preeti Mataji. Thank you so much. So, Mataji, would anybody like to start from Govindadasi made Prabhupada his favorite food?
I can be Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Kitida Mataji. Please, Mataji.
Govindadasi made Prabhupada his favorite food, kachoris, to take on the plane. Prabhupada had taught her how to cook them. One of the secrets was to put the kachoris into hot ghee, once so that they puffed up, and then cool them and recook them in the ghee. Cook them twice, he said, until it becomes reddish. As she cooked them, and while they were still hot, Prabhupada wanted to try one. When he began asking for one after another, Govindadasi said, Prabhupada, you are going to eat them all, and you won't have any for your journey. Never mind, he replied. Bring me more. Never mind my journey. According to Govindadasi, he ate 8 kachoris and she made more for his journey. Janavadasi. The next day his Divine Grace was leaving for Montreal, so I was told to make the garland for him. I took too long and made it on thin thread. We were already late, but I made us even later in picking up his Divine Grace to take him to the airport. When we arrived at his apartment about 1/2 hour from the temple, Harsha Rani ran out of the apartment and told us that she had never seen him so furious. She warned us that we were really going to get it for being late. Then Govindadasi came out and confirmed what Harsha Rani said. Then Kartikeya came out, visibly shaken, followed by his Divine Grace. Instead of garlanding him, Upendra bowed him down and with shaking hands held the garland above his bowed head. His Divine Grace simply put on the garland and without a word of remonstration got into the van. Naranarayana. Bilva Mangla didn't know how to drive. He was swaying this way and that way. And as we were going towards the downtown area, Prabhupada said, who knows how to get it to the airport? We all looked at each other. Not one of us had ever been to the Seattle airport, and it was late for his plane. I said, I think it is this way. Prabhupada looked at me as sharply as a razor blade and said, Think? Think? Means you do not know? Finally, there was an entrance into the freeway, and I stopped there. Prabhupada said, I want to take a taxi. You do not know. He said heavier things than that, which my mind was blocked out. I stopped and I said, Srila Prabhupada, let's wait a moment. Surely we will find a way. I quickly called out the window to a hitchhiker on the side of the freeway. Where is the airport? And he told us how to get there. Prabhupada was angry because he not only liked to be at the airport on time, but ahead of time, at least an hour. So we got on the freeway, and this boy obviously did not know how to drive. The car was swaying and rocking back and forth like a boat in a heavy storm, and Prabhupada was looking disturbed. I was sitting in the back, and to make matters worse, every time the car swayed like that, the girls put their hands together and started chanting, He drove on, and by the grace of Lord Krishna, we got to the airport a half hour ahead of the flight. Janvadasi. When we got into the airport, His Divine Grace stepped through the front doors and immediately his knee-length garland on the thin thread broke, and he simply cradled the two fallen ends in his arms and walked on with great dignity, his head high and tilted back. Then the devotees gave me petals to throw at his feet. I thought we would distribute the airlines by leaving petals everywhere. I threw petals clumsily because I was distracted by my doubt until His Divine Grace said, "That's all right, no more petals." And then when we sat waiting for his flight, I was pretty morose at his feet. He looked down and spoke that familiar blessing, "Is everything all right?" Then the devotees gave me a particular exquisite and fragrant red rose to give to him. As he boarded the plane, he kept the rose and gave his garland to Upendra to distribute. Although I had only been a devotee for a month, still I too was faced with that unbearable separation from reciprocating with him in his physical form. His Divine Grace sat by the window and he waved the long stemmed rose slowly. And then he ducked out of view while we were dancing and having ecstatic kirtan. Then he came back to the window and waved the rose and then ducked out of sight again. He did this several times and we responded each time with more forceful chanting and dancing. Then he left. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for giving this opportunity to read. Sorry for, this made me so much laugh, so sorry for that. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Kirtida Mataji. We too enjoyed your reading. Thank you so much, Mataji. Mataji, if anybody would like to continue from next? October 27, 1968.
Mataji, can I read?
Sure, Mataji. Kamadaki Mataji. Please, Mataji.
October 27, 1968. Prabhupada was traveling alone when he arrived in Chicago. On a morning flight from Montreal, inside the busy terminal building of O'Hare Airport, people rushed down the corridors or looked anxiously at the airport television screens overhead to find the right gate. Prabhupada was to immediately catch a connecting flight to Santa Fe, New Mexico. Prabhupada checked the overhead television screens for his flight's gate number and made his way down the crowded corridor. The rush and congestion made stopping even for a moment hazardous. As Prabhupada headed down the long corridor, passerby eyed him curiously. He came to a flight of stairs and started quickly down them, moving with the crowd. Suddenly he tripped and lost his balance. He dropped his bag and fell down several stairs. He didn't get up. His hand was cut and he felt pain in several places. Then a gentleman came, helped him, and handed him his bag. The stream of passengers continued to rush past while the gentleman waited, asking Prabhupada if he was all right. Prabhupada thanked the man and said that he would be able to proceed by himself. On the plane for Santa Fe, Prabhupada's hand. The cut had bled a little, but had now stopped, and he saw a bruise. Then Prabhupada arrived at the Montreal airport. A reporter had asked, "Swami, in the course of your travels, what difficulties do you encounter?" And Prabhupada has replied, "I have no difficulty. You have difficulty." And it was Prabhupada was simply on Krishna, and so he had no problems. That had also been Prahlad Maharaj's prayer. O best of great personalities, I am not at all afraid of material existence, for wherever I stay, I am fully absorbed in thoughts of your glorious activities. My concern is only for the fools and rascals who are making elaborate plans for material happiness and maintaining their families, societies, and countries. I am simply concerned with love for them. The reporter, however, had only written something English. Hush puppy, high priest. Hush puppy, high priest. A television news team with cameras and lights come to the Seattle temple to interview Prabhupada, and that night part of the interview had been televised. It had been favorable coverage. A Christian minister, however, Mr. Miller from the University of Washington, had written in protest of Prabhupada's preaching at the university. But Prabhupada had replied that the church had failed to satisfy so many boys and girls. So if some of them were following him and giving up sinful life, why should the Christians protest? They should be glad. Mataji, I stop here.
Thank you so much, Kamoliki Mataji.
Thank you.
Mataji? Thank you, Mataji. Mataji, if anybody would like to continue at the Albert Q Airport? Okay, then I will continue, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Shamagari Mataji. Please, Mataji.
At the Albay Airport, Harinam president of the Santa Fe temple and Govinda Dasi met Prabhupada, but they greeted him with strange news. Prabhupada, Govinda Dasi said, the temple here has no money. You can't stay. You will have to go on to Los Angeles. Prabhupada turned to Harinam. Why did you ask me to come here? Harinam glanced at Govinda Dasi and then shifted his foot, which seemed to be causing him pain. He apologized and explained that the night before he had been beaten by a black widow's spider, but Prabhupada's question was unanswered. So, what are you going to do? Prabhupada demanded. I can go to Los Angeles tonight. He looked from Harinam to Govinda Dasi. I must stay here in Albay work at least for the night in the hotel. Govinda Dasi assigned herself to calling hotels to find a suitable, reasonably priced room. While she was gone, Harinam found Prabhupada in bed. Govinda Dasi said, you are not feeling well, Harinam said. Don't worry about my health, Prabhupada said. I am not a sick man. Govinda Dasi is sick. I am not sick. So what are you going to do? Govinda Dasi returned and said she couldn't find a reasonable motel. Then she began to cry. That is not the
Mataji, you know Krishna.
You know Krishna, Prabhupada, she pleaded. What does Krishna want us to do? That is not the point, Prabhupada said angrily. Krishna wants to know what you want to do. Harinam disgusted with Govinda Dasi's attitude suddenly became decisive. I think we should go to Santa Fe, he said. Prabhupada agreed. It seemed the only thing to do. Getting into the temple, Volkswagen is
Walk.
at 4 in the... What's that, Mataji?
That was Volkswagen.
Volkswagen. Oh, Volkswagen at 4 in the afternoon. They started the 60-mile drive from Albuquerque to Santa Fe. The clouds overhead form unusual symmetrical patterns on either sides of the road. I have never seen the clouds so beautiful as today, Harinam said. An hour and a half later, as they pulled into the driveway on the little storefront building, Prabhupada noticed a handmade sign. Swamiji is coming. Yes, he said. And he smiled. His first expression of pleasure since arriving in New Mexico. You were expecting me. Coming in through the back door, Prabhupada, escorted by Harinam, entered a newly painted room. A rug, partially covered in the line of linoleum floor. A wooden table was an altar, and a mattress cover created with a pillow was Prabhupada's seat. Prabhupada, however, chose to sit on the rug instead of his seat, and the devotees and guests sat around him. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Chamagauri Mataji. Mataji, if anybody would like to continue from next, this is a nice room.
Mataji, I'll read Mataji.
Hare Krishna Anjana Gopika Mataji. Please, Mataji.
You know, Mataji, where we are in?
This is a nice room, Mataji.
Oh, okay, 1 second. Okay, yeah.
Mataji, can you be a little bit louder, Mataji?
Yeah. This is this is a nice room, Prabhupada said, looking around. I will stay here. Govinda Dasi brought Prabhupada a plate of cut fruit, and Prabhupada opened a lunch bag containing laddu and kachori. About 8 guest hippies were present, and Prabhupada distributed prasadam to everyone. One of the guests, never having tasted laddu before, remarked, "This is the best peanut butter I have ever eaten." This is the preparation, Prabhupada explained, that the mothers make for Krishna and the friends of Krishna to take with them in their lunch bag. They put this in their lunch bag when they go and play. One of the guests asked Prabhupada, "Who is Krishna?" Prabhupada replied, "Is the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is playing with the cowherd boys." Prabhupada asked to spend the night in the Santa Fe storefront, but the devotees told him that as the heater was too loud, he would be more comfortable staying in an apartment nearby. He complained.
Harinama assigned a recently initiated boy, Tosana Krishna, to be Prabhupada's servants. When Prabhupada got to his room and found it dark, Tosana Krishna had to replace the worn out bulb in the ceiling socket. When the light came on, Prabhupada looked around the room and found it is practically bare. There was a mattress on the floor but no pillow. There was no desk, so Prabhupada made his own desk by setting his books on his suitcase. A wooden chest a devotee in Seattle had pulled. So Prabhupada said, "Do you know how to type?" No. Prabhupada was unable to sleep that night because of the glare from the street lamps. So he sat at his desk writing purport of the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. As he wrote, his pen scratched with a hollow sound across the wooden suitcase. Tosana Krishna took rest in another room. While Prabhupada went on writing all night, his pen scratching on the hollow wooden desk. Then at 4 in the morning, Prabhupada rang the little bell Tosana Krishna had left with him and called Tosana Krishna. Tosana Krishna came running. "Yes, Prabhupada. It is 4 o'clock," Prabhupada said. "You should get up." Tosana Krishna had run to the door without his glasses, so he hurried back to get them, and he then ran back again to Prabhupada's room and sat down before him. The first thing Prabhupada said is, "You haven't paid your obeisances." Tosana Krishna slapped his hand to his head and Prabhupada began to chuckle. As the boy put his head to the floor in honor of his spiritual master, Prabhupada said, "That's all right. It is just for practice." Then Prabhupada spoke sternly, "Why have you brought me to Santa Fe and then told me to leave?" Tosana Krishna, devotee for only 2 months, did not know what to say. Prabhupada persisted, "Why is this? Why have you done this?" Well, Govinda Dasi never listened to a woman. Prabhupada smiled and he spoke. But then again he sternly cautioned Tosana, "Don't laugh." So what did he say? Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anjana Gopika Mataji. Mataji, if anybody would like to continue from when she was concerned about her health, about your health. Okay, I can read Mataji then. Hare Krishna. Well, she was concerned about your health. Because of the altitude, she had talked with some doctors and friends of hers, and she became concerned that the altitude might affect you. As a matter of fact, she was sick herself. As soon as she got here, she became sick. So she convinced Harinam that they should tell you that you shouldn't stay here. Govinda Dasi will always be sick. She will be sick in her. Prabhupada began laughing, but Toshana only looked back nervously. "So, they think Swamiji will come here and die?" Prabhupada gestured towards the window. "There are so many people living here." Toshana Krishna. "It became cold in the morning, so he told me to turn on all the burners on the stove." He rubbed his head and started singing the prayers to the spiritual master. He half sang, half said them, and when he was done, we both chanted japa together. I knew I was very fortunate. Then he had me do little things like turn off the burners on the stove. Now you can turn one off. Now you can turn another one off. It was getting warmer. Later we went for an early morning walk. I had nothing to ask Prabhupada since I knew so little of the philosophy. He was telling me that one's fortunate life begins when he meets a devotee. That night about 40 guests came to the temple, a big increase over the usual attendance. The audience was almost entirely young couples, and Prabhupada talked about Radha and Krishna in a way that seemed most fitting. Radharani is the most beautiful girl, he said, and Krishna is the most beautiful boy. He explained that Radha and Krishna are the perfection of the conjugal relationship, and when that some conjugal relationship is exhibited by the conditioned souls in the material world, it is only a perverted reflection. After the lecture, as Prabhupada spoke casually with the guest, an elderly woman introduced herself as the head of the Albuquerque Yoga Club and invited Prabhupada to come there to speak. Prabhupada said he would be happy to come, and turning to Harinama said, "We should go. They have invited me. But they already have another engagement for you in Los Angeles," Harinama replied. So Prabhupada ended his short stay in Santa Fe after only one day. So we are moving to next chapter, Mataji. The chapter is 61 and heading is 108 rose bushes. October 28, 1968. On returning to Los Angeles from Santa Fe, Prabhupada found his followers in their new location on Hollywood Boulevard in the tourist section, a block from Gorman's Chinese Theater. The new temple, a former beauty parlor, occupied the largest first floor of an elegant old 60-story office building. The space actually tri-level with a ground floor, a mezzanine and a basement was filled with more than 40 devotees. Prabhupada stayed in the Lucky 7 hotel across the street. In the early evening, before the devotees would go out again to chant, they would crowd into Prabhupada's room and sit with him. Mataji, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to read. I would like to stop here, and anybody would like to continue from next paragraph? Okay, or else then we can wind up our reading session up to this paragraph, Mataji. We will start again from next coming Friday. Not coming Friday, after the Friday, Mataji. So thank you so much all Matajis for joining this Lilamrta session and reading so wonderfully, Mataji. It was a bliss to have this again. This Wednesday, suddenly, it was blessing of Srila Prabhupada and Preeti Mataji gave us this opportunity. Thank you so much, Matajis. So, Matajis, we would like to share our realizations, reflections, or any relevant to this reading, Mataji. So, please start, Matajis. I would like to request Kitira Mataji, Preeti Mataji, Kamodiki Mataji, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Anjana Gopika Mataji, Shama Gauri Mataji. Can you please start, Mataji?
Hi, Mataji. Thank you so much. And I really like the kachori thing, where Govinda Dasi made kachori and Prabhupada asked her to fry it twice. So, yeah. And then he ate everything and then he asked her, "It's okay, never mind, you bring more for my journey." He ate 8 stories and she made even more for the journey. I really like that part.
Yes, Mataji, yes. And Prabhupada also instructed a little bit how to do our good reddish golden brown kachoris.
Yeah, cook them twice so it becomes reddish.
Yes,
So
Mataji.
that's why, yeah, they double fry, right? Especially samosas and
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Preeti Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Kitida Mataji.
Yeah, the section, that I read is so hilarious that I just can't stop laughing. But, and also it gives such an important message that yes, the disciples those days, disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they were so dedicated. Means, they just consider the words and instructions of Srila Prabhupada as their life and soul. They had no concept of Krishna consciousness. They don't know any ABCD about these Vedas and about this Indian culture. But still, they were so dedicated that whatever Srila Prabhupada said, they just accepted blindly. So that's the faith that is needed. That's why, when we say that during Prabhupada, the movement was flourishing like anything, it's just because the disciples were so dedicated to whatever Srila Prabhupada says. And at the same time, the respect was there. See, how she was making a garland and it was on a thin thread and she was brushing. So she had that in mind, that how Prabhupada is so punctual, and then I should do it, nicely, and then finally the garland also broke. But still, Prabhupada was also so much lenient towards his disciples because he knows that, they are just beginners. So both of, they handled the situation so wonderfully, the spiritual masters as well as the disciples. So it was such a loving conversation, and, it's worth relishing. And we really miss, especially I myself, really miss Srila Prabhupada and, getting association of him. And also the first section, I think, so Preeti Vilasini Mataji read that how Prabhupada got his sannyas initiation from Bhakti Prajna Maharaj. So yesterday only at night I was hearing one lecture, and actually I didn't know about it, but yesterday I came to know that. Thought just want to share, maybe quite a few of know, but just, since I heard it, I just want to share that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, since he was initiated by Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, so when he was doing his his vow of completing 1 billion days of Harinam, and he was in solitude, and he was, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was just, chanting continuously, and then there is one devotee who came to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and his name was Vinod Bihari, and he came, and then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur told him that you should go and see my Guru Maharaj, since he is still there on the planet, so you should not leave the opportunity. And at that time, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj has just locked himself in the filthy place in the restroom because people were coming and disturbing him in his Naam and Harinam Bhajan. So he just locked him, and then Vinod Bihari Prabhu told Saraswati Thakur that, he's not even opening the door. A lot of people tried, and what should I do? So he just said that you just go and tell that I brought the lotus dust from the feet of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So immediately, when he went and Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he told that I brought the dust of the feet of Saraswati Thakur. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj immediately opened the door and pulled him inside and again locked it. And then, though Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was the disciple of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, but still Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj used to call him Prabhu. And because he was so, scholarly qualified. But long story short, anyways, so what happened is Vinod Bihari Prabhu, later he got initiated by Saraswati Thakur, and his name is Bhakti Prajna Maharaj, through which our dear Srila Prabhupada took his sannyas initiation. So
Hari Bol, Mataji.
Hari Bol.
Very nice, Mataji. Very nice. And previously, Mataji, what you told is 10% right, Mataji, about the disciples' trust and faith in Srila Prabhupada and how they followed each and every word of Srila Prabhupada as complete instructions, and how they are doing the services, and we can say the sincerity, Mataji. Rightly said, Mataji, Kitira Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. The faith where Mataji was talking about, it just brought to my mind the many readings from the Bhagavad Gita, and Srila Prabhupada, all glories to him, has always, in most of his verses, when he has given us the purport, he has always put faith as the first and foremost necessity that we should have in our Krishna consciousness. And even, that brings to my mind the verse 8.3, where there are 5 kinds of sacrificial offerings. And there again, faith, enjoyer of the moon, rain, grains, and semen. So faith in many verses has been put first. So thank you, Mataji, for pointing that out. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing again these beautiful points, Mataji, and reiterating on this faith on Guru's instructions, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Kamodaki Mataji, Anjana Gopika Mataji, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, would you like to share something, Mataji? So, Mataji, I think Preeti Mataji and Kirtida Sundari Mataji, and Mataji, your name, Mataji? I'm sorry.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I'm Ananda Viharini.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much to Ananda Viharini Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji, for sharing those wonderful, important points, Mataji. And most important things, it struck my mind while today's reading in Prabhupada's Lilamrta is when Srila Prabhupada came to Santa Fe airport, and one of the reporters rushed immediately, and he's telling, did you get any kind of difficulties in your travel back here? Then Prabhupada is telling, no, I don't have. I think you have difficulties. So he is rightly pointing that in despite of his material or physical difficulties, he is not bothered, Mataji. And we can see how Srila Prabhupada is explaining the conjugal love between Radha and Krishna, and whatever we see in our material world is a perverted reflection of those conjugal love, and the beautiful things between what is happening in the Goloka Vrindavan. It is the conjugal love or whatever, how they are feeling. Those is a perverted reflection in our material world. Srila Prabhupada is telling that is also very noteworthy point for me, Mataji. And again, we can see how disciples are very much, they are very much afraid what Prabhupada is going to tell with his shortcomings. And we can see Toshana Krishna and Bilva Mangal Thakur's car driving to airport, and Toshana Krishna's how they are going in the room, how barely it is practically nothing there, and how they call Prabhupada, and again they are telling to leave the place. And Govinda Dasi's episode also. So Prabhupada is telling Govinda Dasi will be always sick, and he will be sick in heaven too. She will be sick in heaven too. That is a little bit hilarious for me, but I'm really sorry if it is like offense. So Srila Prabhupada is telling that. And again, coming to two main recipes Srila Prabhupada shared. So the laddus and kachoris, and how Srila Prabhupada is distributing the devotees as soon as he entered, and one of the devotees is very much praising those laddu as the best ever peanut sweet he had tasted, and how Srila Prabhupada is telling the importance and how they are carrying in Goloka Vrindavan as a breakfast in the lunch bags. How Mother Yashoda and other gopis would give the little laddus to the Krishna and other gopas who are going to gaze in the forest with the cows and cattle. So these are very interesting, Mataji's today's reading. And we can see some more. I missed one point, Mataji. Let me recollect. Yeah, I think that's it, Mataji. If I missed anything, Mataji, kindly forgive me for my shortcomings. And if you want to add some more of the realizations of whatever we have read, Mataji, please, Mataji, please share, Mataji. We will be all benefited.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Supriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Anjana Gopika Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So beautiful. Your summary is always very inspiring to listen. I just like the poem, what is it? Tosana Krishna. Yes, he was very new, and then he know what he's supposed to do, and then when Prabhupada called the 4 o'clock, and then he said he didn't know he's supposed to do the Dandavat, and Prabhupada reminded him. It was so inspiring for me, And even Prabhupada was telling it's not just a practice, that's all right, And it was instructing all the things, what they're supposed to do, and same time he was not making them to discourage or anything. Yeah, it was so nice, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, yes, that is true. Thank you so much, Anjana Gopika Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Please go ahead, Mataji.
Remember one point I forgot. When you were I really like that point. Just not, yes, fine, Mataji. And thank you for summarizing, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Anjana Gopika Mataji, for coming on the call and reading and sharing your realizations, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So, Mataji, if anybody would like to share or any reflections or any thoughts, some more to add to our nectar of reading, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Yesterday I read that every day by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, Shri Radha Gopinath Murthy read Vedabase online and prepare small 4-line post by the Vaishnava. So I read that Prabhupada said that if you sell once in a month one or in that book, that that 2 souls become Krishna conscious and enter into back to Godhead, then also I am so happy. We should not think that, oh, I am not such a big preacher, I don't know how to preach. No, we should not think. Whatever we learn, we have to share with the Vaishnava. And who knows that soul, sleeping soul become the seeds is already there, and that sleeping soul become wake up and started bhakti, and after maybe 6 months or 8 months we have to contact with that soul, and by the nourishing the water, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, Shri Radha Gopinath, the leaves and the fruits will come, so that whatever we learn from Vaishnava, try to share with the other Vaishnava. And if you try, not only in a December month, with the whole year, at least 1 or 2 books, you will try to give a Krishna conscious to Vaishnava, and they will back to Godhead, and definitely you also get the benefit. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Thank you very much for your such a deep devotional association, all Vaishnava, and your chanting, Mataji, especially your chanting. How sincerely 10 to 11 you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Whole day, Mataji, it's going in our mind. Thank you, Mataji. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Your sincerity, Mataji. Your sincerity of hearing my chanting, and again it comes every time, Mataji. That's it, Mataji. I am very fallen, Mataji. Here we have so much pure devotees. But thank you so much, Mataji. And whatever you said, those are perfectly right, Mataji. And we have to teach, and we should not consider ourselves we cannot teach. But the instruction you have given me, Mataji, that teaching and preaching is like, personally I take it, Mataji. I should start preaching at least to the people who are around me, Mataji. And making this point very, what we can say, Mataji, you explain it very nicely, Mataji. And making this as like a bhakti lata beach, and how to water and how to make it leaves come out and how to make it grow very big, Mataji. It is very inspiring, Mataji, to listen from you, Mataji. Thank you so much, Vrinda Gopika Mataji.
One minute I will take. Shyam Bihari Prabhu told that my job is 50 minutes far and I will go by the right. So that Shyam Bihari Prabhu told, read Sisi Bhagavatam, sing Sisi Narsingadev, and preach whatever you learn to the Vaishnava. That person is Mexican, not understand. English he understand very well, but everybody says, Mataji, can you please sing that nurse?
Oh, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
And Mataji, by that way, maybe he's passing is such a bad situation. Because man never explain with anybody, so that he's crying when I read the Shri Bhagavatam. So the association of senior Vaishnava is very important. H.G. Shambhari Prabhu, H.G. forgot Dushabhanu Prabhu. Now they moved in the New Jersey, but how sincerely they teach us: don't waste time. Utilize the time. Whether that person is here or not, but at least you will purify yourself. And one day that person becomes sincere by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev.
Yes, Mataji, while you are sharing your realizations, Mataji, how we have to preach, I remember how Srila Prabhupada used to tell, if there is nobody to listen also, we have to sit in a room with 4 walls and we have to preach to 4 walls. That is well said, Mataji. Thank you so much, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, coming on the call and blessing all the Vaishnavas with your sincere realizations and encouraging me, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much. So, Mataji, so with this, we would like to wind up this session, Mataji. And I would like to pay my obeisances to all the Vaishnavis who joined this call. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindho bhyaye vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lilamrta ki jai. Assembled devotees ki jai. Priti Mata ki, Kirtida Mata ki, Vrinda Gopika Mata ki, Anjana Gopika Mata ji, Kamoliki Mata ji. Ananda Gopi Mataji ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Mataji,
Thank you,
your
Mataji.
association. Please give your association.
Supriya Mataji ki jai.
Thank you
Supriya
so
Mataji,
much.
please give your realization.
Mataji.
Sure, Mataji. Sure, definitely. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.